Hello, welcome to English with Sikshya. Have you been searching for a method for stepping up your English? Today we are going to practice English with a new short story. Let's improve your English listening and reading skills. You can also practice speaking along, reading the text. If you need extra time, pause the video and speak along, or adjust the speed to a slower level. Let's get started. Part 1. How I Met Your Mother. It was a quiet night at the campsite. The stars were shining bright in the sky, and the fire crackled softly. Eric and Jenny, two young kids, sat around the campfire with their father. They had spent the day hiking and playing, but now they were curious about something else. They wanted to hear a story, and not just any story. They wanted to know how their dad met their mom. "Dad," Eric said, looking up at him, "how did you meet Mom?" "Yes, tell us," Jenny added, her eyes wide with excitement. Their father smiled. He knew this question would come one day, and now it was time to tell the story. He poked the fire with a stick, thinking about where to begin. The firelight danced on his face as he looked at his children and began the story. "Well," he said slowly, "it all started many years ago, when I was about your age. I was a teenager, just like you will be soon. I lived in a small town, and my life was simple. I went to school, played with my friends, and spent a lot of time outside. But one day, something changed. I met someone special. That someone was your mother." Eric and Jenny leaned in closer, eager to hear more. "It was a sunny day," their father continued. "I was at the park playing soccer with my friends. We were having a great time, running and laughing. And then I saw her. She was sitting on a bench with her friends, watching us play. She had a bright smile, and she looked so happy. I couldn't take my eyes off her." "Was she pretty?" Jenny asked with a grin. "She was beautiful," their father said with a smile. "But it wasn't just her looks that caught my attention. There was something special about her. She had a kind and gentle way about her. I didn't know it then, but that day would change my life forever." Eric and Jenny listened carefully as their father continued the story. "After the game, I was nervous, but I walked over to her. I said hello, and she smiled at me. We talked for a little while, just about simple things, school, friends, and the weather. Her name was Sarah, and she was new in town. She had just moved there with her family. We didn't talk for long, but I knew I wanted to see her again." Their father paused for a moment, remembering the past. "I didn't know much about love back then, but I knew that I liked her. We started seeing each other more at school, and soon we became friends. We would talk during lunch, and sometimes we would walk home together. It was nice just being around her." "What happened next?" Eric asked, excited to hear more. "Well," their father said, "we stayed friends for a long time, but one day I realized that she was more than just a friend to me. I liked her a lot, and I wanted to tell her how I felt. So one day after school, I got up the courage to tell her. I was so nervous. My heart was beating fast and my hands were sweaty. But I told her that I liked her and that she was special to me. What did she say? Jenny asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. She smiled at me, their father said. And she said that she liked me too. We both felt the same way. That was the beginning of our love story. From that day on, we were not just friends. We were something more. Eric and Jenny smiled, happy to hear how their parents' story had started. The campfire crackled softly as their father continued. We spent a lot of time together after that, he said. We went on walks, watched movies, and even studied together. We were young, but we cared about each other a lot. And as the years went by, our love grew stronger. We shared our dreams, our hopes, and our worries. We were there for each other through good times and bad. Their father looked up at the stars, lost in thought. It wasn't always easy, he said. There were times when we had to be apart. We went to different colleges and sometimes we couldn't see each other as much as we wanted. But we always found a way to stay close. We wrote letters, we called each other, and whenever we could, we would visit. We never let the distance break us apart. Eric and Jenny listened quietly, understanding now that their parents' love had been strong from the very beginning. They looked at their father, waiting for him to continue the story. The fire burned low, and the night grew darker. But the warmth of the story kept them close. We were young when we met, their father said, but we grew up together. And as we grew, so did our love. We learned that love isn't just about happy times. It's about being there for each other no matter what. And that's how your mom and I have been all these years, loving each other and taking care of each other. With those words, their father smiled at his children. The first part of the story was over, but there was more to tell. If you enjoyed the story of how Eric and Jenny's father met their mother, stay tuned and find the video for the second part of the story in the description box below.